everyone, Jill here. Welcome to my channel. You've landed on Jill and Beauty Therapy, and we are having a wig chat today. And it is brought to you by Wigs by Patti's Pearls. They were very kind to send this to me so I can share it with you. We're taking a look at Sage. This is an ESTETICA brand wig. This is in the color. Now I'm going to have to put my glasses on for this because it's quite a code and I don't have it memorized since I'm not super familiar with ESTETICA colors. This is RH1488RT8. So I have had this on my head. I actually did a makeup video and wore this at the end, and I did wear it that day. So it does have some dry shampoo on it. This is not a heat-friendly fiber, and I just don't feel comfortable with the shininess that goes along with that. Now, in the previous wig chat, and I'll put that link down below in the description box, on that particular one, I talked about and showed the different wig products that I use on my wigs, and this was one of them. This is Kenra, which is a human hair brand, and this is made for human hair, but I do love this dry shampoo. It's the volume dry shampoo. And this is what I use when I feel the need to dull that shine. It does have just the littlest bit of movement in that wave pattern, just a little bit. And I think that's great because it creates a bit of edginess to the style, and you can play with that to the hilt with sculpting cream, you know, different sort of even spray gels. John Renault has a great styling sort of line there that you can experiment, because you can texture this, you can scrunch it, you can do a lot of fun things with this. So it has this wonderful length. It has the kind of messy kind of look to it, which I kind of like. It's not a sleek looking bob, although you probably could make it do that. I don't think, though, that's the intention of this particular style. So before we go further, I'm going to go ahead and give you a spin so you can see what this looks like all the way around. This is just, I love this length. I really do. I love that it just comes above my shoulder line here, and it's just a very comfortable feeling. Now remember, I do have the texture sort of dry shampoo on this wig. I didn't go overboard because I didn't want to, because I knew I was going to be doing a wig chat, but it does alter sort of the texture a bit. So I am seeing that. So keep that in mind, and refer to other Sage reviews if you want to see what it looks like straight out of the box. But I really didn't do much anything else. I didn't even really put a lot of hairspray on it at all. As a matter of fact, when I wore this wig for the video, I sort of just clipped it up and out of my face. The first thing when I put this on my head is it really just wants to stay quite close to the front of my forehead there and sort of frame my face, which a lot of you would not have an issue with. I can utilize product to make sure it doesn't actually fall in my face. And honestly, the fibers aren't wanting to fall in my face, other than, you know, it kind of wants to do this, but that's okay. So while it stays out of my, you know, line of sight here, you know the way I am by now, I'm sure, and that I prefer, see how this is a little bit up and away? I really like that, but this side definitely does not want to do that. Now, this does have only a left side monofilament part. So you do have monofilament from about here to here, just right in there, not too generous of a part there to play with. You will see that monofilament in there, which does give you that realism when it comes to that parting in the scalp appearance, that scalp look. So when that happens, and this happens for me, I can embrace that, which, you know, it doesn't look bad, it looks fine, but it's just not me, you know, so I can either take a little steam and give it just a little more lift right through here, but honestly, I very rarely take out my steamer. Very rarely. There has to be something serious going on for me to take that baby out. I'm not sure why. I usually try to see if I can problem solve that with quite honestly just product. Another thing is getting the dry shampoo kind of close in to the scalp and taking your fingers, kind of mussing it up there. And then you can go in with a little hairspray, because your hairspray now has not just the fibers to stick to, it has a little bit of that grittiness from the dry shampoo, and that can really help a lot in a circumstance like this. So that's kind of what we got going here. I'm gonna go ahead and use, now this is Style and Hold Beauty Mark hairspray. This is a bit wet. It is a pump, so it is not as light and airy as an aerosol, but it's totally safe to use on your synthetic fibers. So I'm just gonna kind of get it in here, just kind of let it dry there for a bit. And a lot of times that will do the trick. But it still kind of wants to drop down, even if I kind of try to get a little texture going here and encourage the fibers to stay up there a little. Gonna do some 80s crunching here. Does this bring back memories or what? Okay, so I am a tucker, for sure. I am a tucker, and I try to do it with just about every style. It almost becomes this secondary nature for me, but now I've got, you know, a sort of warmer color going here with an 8 root. My natural color that I pulled out just a little bit of is a mousy brown with lots of gray. So I'm gonna have to deal with that, because to me, you know, that's gonna kind of scream at me through the day if I see that. So I am going to go in with some fill-in powder, and it's a root powder for regular human hair. And this one is called fill-in powder. Dark brown, which I find fits most of my blondes, except for the real light ones like Palm Springs Blonde, a Shaded Biscuit. It's a little too dark for that. They always come with a stippling brush, and it works great. It's perfect. You can, now this is waterproof, and so you don't have to worry about this running down the side of your head if you're sweating or you get caught in the rain. Never had that happen with this. This is probably the most inexpensive brand that I have seen, and I have not found I haven't found the need to really try anything else. So it works just fine. So this, now I'm gonna dab it and stipple it right on my skin underneath where my hair is growing out there. And I'm also going to take it out onto the hair itself to kind of maybe cover up that gray a little bit, a lot bit, hopefully. It only takes a couple minutes to do this, you guys. And then this is, you know, my hair grows out all the way to here. It's just so fine that you might not even see it. But I am going to go ahead and help it be seen a little more, because if you can do this, and if you have some hair to pull out there, first of all, it doesn't take much hair at all to do this. We're just creating an illusion to give a more realistic hairline, and that's all we're doing is really creating an illusion. Then when you get it on, I like to take my finger and really mute out and blend out those edges. Make sure you wipe off your fingers so you don't get this everywhere. And I would do that to this side too, even though this is going to be sort of down and covering it all. However, the wind could blow. I could just inadvertently, I don't know. I like to do both sides equally. And then I do have a tendency of moving my wig back when I do that. So I put that back. So now, you know, if I tuck my hair So now if I tuck, you know, I have sort of this shadowing going along. You're not seeing too much of a line of demarcation with the dark and my light mousy gray hair, even though it's just the tiniest bit. It just really makes this seamless kind of blend go on. And people remember you guys, people aren't like us. They're not familiar with wigs. For the most part, they're not. Just remember, you are familiar with wigs, you watch these videos, you may be a wig wearer yourself, chances are you're very dialed in, you're very tuned in on what that lacing looks like on the skin, sort of where the wig is, what it's doing. People are not. I wish I could get you to believe that, because you know, they're not, even if the lacing isn't perfect, even if you can kind of see a little bit going on there, that I tell you, people don't. People do not tell those things. So when you do these things, you really are just creating an illusion. The brain just passes by it, and nobody's going to think otherwise. So now when I tuck my hair back, I feel really confident about it. Confidence is the only real ingredient you need to become a wig wearer. Hold your head up high, feel great. It's contagious, and that's all you need, honestly, to be a wig wearer, is confidence. All right, so we did that. Again, I would do the other side. This at least is lifting up a little bit more. I was kind of glad this wig did that, because it is one of my bugaboos, and I'm like, oh. And the more that I do to it to kind of get it to stop doing that every time I wear it, the easier it gets, and I don't have to fight with it so much. I don't know. I just don't like that look of a draping right over the front of my face, over the forehead. It drives me nuts. So it's really kind of a preference thing. Even if it goes up just the tiniest bit right here and comes down, I still like that better. Now, say that it's still bothering me, even though this is a left side monofilament, I will try to flip it and make this just a little messy looking. Where's that monofilament? It ends right about there. So, because then, you know, if I kind of mess it up a little bit up here, lift it up off the cap, spray it. Now I'm really getting a look that I like. The lace front on this wig, I think, is very, very nice. It is not just one color. They have added in the lighter color in that as well. Maybe not in the form of low lights and highlights, but they're there. But yeah, that rooting is very nice. And we could do something like this. Now we can't find a weft up top, right? Because there is no wefting, really, that we could do this. So I recommend being really careful. Just get it in there, because it'll stay just fine. So then you can kind of move that. I'm gonna get this back. This is very similar to what I did when it was a little on the side, but I am bringing that part straight back. It is kind of my go-to. I do like doing this with any length, honestly. And then I always like to tuck the bottom part super fast. I do it with all my wigs, any length, doesn't matter, short, long, doing kind of that front section and then rolling the sides, tucking whatever's left over, done, and it is comfortable. It's a quick spin for you. Yeah, so any other feedback I can give you? Well, the cap feels comfortable. I'll always put my measurements down below in the description box, you know, my head measurements, so you can sort of get a feel as to where I'm at. comparably to where you are. I definitely recommend measuring your head properly for a wig. I'll put the link to my favorite one here on YouTube, which is a John Renault. Very straightforward, easy to get to do. So I'll put that down below, because if you're new, you really got to do that. You got to figure out where you are, because if you're, for instance, a true petite, any wig that you get is going to make you feel wiggy. There are styles that come in petite and more all the time. Same with if you're just a true large and there's no average that you're gonna fit comfortably, or maybe even at all. You gotta know that, because you purchase these wigs, you're wondering what's going on here, and you can eliminate that right away. I just think this is a fun one. I mean, I can even imagine kind of putting a scarf up here. This is just a versatile length, and again, I'm loving the texture they put into this wig, just the look of it. A little messy, which is right up my alley. You can make it look sleek. You could get this to work if you're doing a formal occasion, or just wearing jeans and a t-shirt, or your pajamas all day for that matter. This is just a lovely, cute, beautiful length. Lovely body without looking wiggy at all. The fibers feel nice, they feel realistic, so that denier is right on. I don't know, if you're looking for something like this, check it out. All right, give me a thumbs up if you found this helpful to you in any way. I would appreciate that so much. Subscribe if you haven't already, because if you like this one, chances are you may like others. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.